Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the pavilion at Cascade Christian High School. We're getting set for the start of tonight's contest. Our first look via video streaming at the Cascade Christian Challenger girls basketball team. They come in tonight with having played one game, and that just 2 nights ago against Douglas on the road. And now here they'll have their home opener tonight, taking on one of the toughest teams in the Far West League in the Brookings Harbor Bruins. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Jim McCoy along with Ryan Sample. The boys team is playing over in Brookings tonight, so Mark McLemore, the JV2 assistant coach, is over there helping out with Coach Shea, and then the boys game will probably be getting underway here in a little while, and what a test that's going to be. But while we know that boys basketball team over at Brookings Harbor, Ryan, is good, we take a look over here. We were chatting a little bit earlier that these smaller schools, you start to see these names start to pop up season after season after season.
Right.
Almost in a couple of cases like, you haven't graduated yet?
Yeah, especially in the case of Lexi Schofield.
Right.
Kind of wish she may have graduated already. She's a pretty dominant force out there. Be fun to watch.
You bet. Well, and then these two teams know each other pretty well from softball season. A lot of, thinking right off the top of my head for the Challengers roster, Caitlin Willard, Neha Joseph, or Kelly Swain, all softball players, saw each other over on the coast here a few weeks back. Good rivalry going on there, and that athleticism, they just go ahead and take it and carry it on over to basketball.
Yep.
So it's going to be this is going to be a tough one. I think we'll find out a lot about these Challenger girls tonight taking on the Bruins.
One of the aspects that I think you notice on the Challenger roster too is that we, as also a small school, we have players that have been playing since their freshman year on the varsity level.
Right.
And Caitlin Willard and Liz White having big time minutes as freshmen, starting even sometimes. So being their senior year, it'll be fun to see how much they've grown and what we can do here.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that you could join us this evening. We've got a lot of fun basketball action to bring your way. Again, Far West League, Brookings Harbor, always a very athletic, very tough program. A lot of fine athletes on this squad. We know they'll bring a lot. And then, of course, the Cascade Christian Challengers, they have some athletes of their own. So it has the makings of a very good basketball game. What we're going to do right now, we'll take a quick timeout and say thanks to some of our sponsors that help make this possible. And then we'll be back with more of your pregame show on Table Rock Sports. Road, but Brookings Harbor, a little bit of a leg up. I'm not sure exactly what the COVID situation looks like on the coast, but they managed to get some games in. Yeah,
they're 3-0 to start the season. So 3 straight wins to get it going. All 4, this 4th game included, have been on the road.
Yep.
They're road warriors, but they're accomplishing it well.
Well, I think something to be mindful of is, in fact, on Tuesday night, they played St. Mary's on the road over at their place, and they hammered them 72-33. Now, I know that St. Mary's team is very young. Compared to what it has been typically, but I think it does, again, tell you. It seems like my recollection is the girls' team split last season, that the Challenger girls had to play tough to get a victory here.
Yes.
And then it was a good, hard fight over on the coast, but the Bruins prevailed in that game.
Yes. And then I think they played in the league playoff as well.
Right.
At the end of the season. And again, tough to win on the road in Brookings.
Right. You know how it goes. I was telling Mark yesterday, if somebody can explain to me or tell me the secret sauce for getting your kids ready to play after a 3-hour bus ride and get them mentally there.
Right.
I'd sure like to know it, because I think no matter what you do, it just seems like there's just that finding your bearings,
Yep. And I've been here for 4 years as part of the football program, and only one away game so far for the varsity team that I've been a part of. But even that was a slow start. It was hard to get going, and it was very difficult to get going, but I mean, we handled it eventually.
Yeah. I think the only thing that's tougher is when you play a breakfast bracket game and you roll out of bed and get just enough to get you fueled up and go out and play. which, it probably provides very good incentive in that first-round game at a state tournament to go get the dub in the first one.
That's right.
Keep yourself out of harm's way on that one. Well, we're just moments away from the start of our ball game this evening between the Challengers and the Bruins. You can see at center court here, and I think what I'll do is go ahead and move from our break board over to our scoreboard. You can see a little bit more of the floor. And right now you have Caitlin Willard for Cascade Christian representing them as captain tonight, and a little discussion with the officials. I'm sure going over the ground rules, so to speak, and maybe some of the expectations for this evening.
Maybe something like, as the official, I will not be touching the ball at the free throw line?
Well, you got some really weird stuff. One of the things that has taken some is not having a jump ball to start the game.
Right.
That the road team, they'll just get it, take it out, just right inside midcourt, and away they go. So, COVID has produced some pretty interesting stuff as we see all these players in some of them are masked up, some of them are not. I'm just glad to see that finally, I don't know, without getting political here, is they got the big Road Memorial Challenge soccer tournament here locally this weekend.
That's right.
And finally those guys don't have to wear masks anymore.
Good.
Now, the fans, that could be kind of a different ball game. There's
Sure.
still limitations for where that's concerned. But it's kind of a reminder that, we're out here playing, but we're still kind of in a different boat than we typically are.
Yeah. Yep.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, the Cascade Christian Challenger girls playing their second contest of the season against the Brookings Harbor Bruins, who come in with a 3-0 record. Challengers at 0-1 after losing a 10-point decision against Douglas on the road on Tuesday night, a game in which Caitlin Willard led the way with 13 points. Melanie Snowden, she was mainly a JV player last year, but she contributed 10 points and knocked down a couple of triples, and I got to imagine that's going to help spread the floor a little bit. I think what's going to be different about this Challenger team, outside of Lainey Pearson at 5'11", not a lot of height. It's like you got a lot of about wing, for girls basketball, wing-sized players. And so, it's not going to be one of the things I expect with Liz White. We'll have a drive-and-slash player. Caitlin Willard probably shooting a lot from downtown. Apparently, Snowden's kind of growing in for that. It's going to be a little bit different team. You figure one of the things that's different from this year compared to last, Sophie Ferreira was a pretty consistent source of points. She has graduated. And then Paisley Fish was here last year. She transferred out. And those were a couple of players that gave them some really good things in terms of their offensive output. Now I'm looking at this team tonight. One of the things I do know is that Coach JT has been working hard with these girls, and for as many as would come out, he's given them plenty of opportunity, let's put it that way, to go out and work on their game a little bit, and we'll see how much it's paid off. Take a look here at the starting lineup for the Brookings Harbor Bruins. Wearing number 5 is Shelby Jersa. She's joined in the lineup by number 2, Tilly Peters, a 5'7" senior. Then 00 is Sierra Fitzhugh, a 5'8" senior. Also in the lineup, Ashlyn Schofield, a 5'10" sophomore, wearing number 44. And then over here in the corner, can't make out her number. She's got her kind of turned sideways to me at the moment. Okay, and that is, of course, Lexi. Schofield, 5'8" senior. Challengers come out with Neha Joseph, along with Melanie Snowden, who's wearing number 22. Also in the lineup, Caitlin Willard, senior Abby Holt, wearing number 25, and Liz White. Driving to the hoop, kicking it out. Here goes Schofield. Lexi pulls up, kicks it out. And now a three-point ball from the elbow. No good. Offensive rebound, however, by the younger Schofield, and a jump ball is called. Possession goes to Cascade Christian. 0-0 ball game. Just getting things underway tonight. Taking the inbound, Neha Joseph. Full court pressure by the Bruins. Quickly up the floor it goes, and Willard can't quite catch up to it. And it'll go out of bounds. It'll be Bruin ball.
It was a good look by Liz. Caitlin was streaking down the sideline, but just a little bit out of reach.
And I think that's one of the things over the years, and I think this is one of the things that Coach Thomas is working with his team on. If there's been a bugaboo for the program over the years, it's been in the turnover department. And unfortunately for Cascade Christian, one right off the bat on the opening possession of the ball game. Schofield's going to fire from the baseline. She knocks it down. So the 3 ball by Schofield, and she'll be the one to watch throughout this evening. Holt with the basketball to White. White going to start a drive. Now back out for Joseph. Between the circles to White. Skip pass over to Willard. She'll fire from downtown. The bank is open on Thursday night.
It is open, Jim.
We got a tie ball game at 3 each. Well, you always like it when your leading scorer hits the first shot.
That's right.
Even if it maybe had a little assistance. 6:45 left to go in the first. It'll be Bruin basketball. Again, that's Lexi Schofield, 5'8" senior. Tremendous athlete. But there's plenty of them in this lineup. Another one of those is Shelby Jersa. She misses the shot. Challengers on the break. Holt with the basketball. Gives it up for White. Now Melanie Snowden from downtown. Her shot just a little bit long. Offensive rebound by Holt. Holt goes hard to the hole, and she can't connect. Rebound by the Bruins. Quickly they go on the break. Laying it up. But missing the shot is Tilly Peters. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Bruins. It'll be Challenger basketball. So you can definitely see, Ryan, they're definitely very much both teams in early season mode.
Yep, they're still filling it out for sure.
Well, not only that, but it's just, you can kind of tell it's like the ideas are there.
Right.
It's just fine-tuning the execution.
The execution.
White quickly up the floor to Snowden. Snowden runs it down. Over on the far baseline. Now to for Joseph. Up top it goes. White. We'll see her do a lot of that tonight. Real drive and slash type player. Willard's going to fire from mid-range, and she knocks it down. Caitlin Willard gives the Challengers a 2-point lead. Peters with the basketball. Now to Lexi Schofield. Hands off for Fitzhugh. Have a whistle and foul called underneath the Challenger basket. Underneath the Bruin basket. And to the free throw line will be Ashlyn Schofield. Let me see here. We got White's going to say, "No, I'm going to lose this mask here." And Kaylin says, "That's a good idea." I do not know how these kids play with those things on. Sometimes it's enough for me to walk.
Yeah, without a mask.
Yep. First free throw attempt, that one's off to the right. It remains a 5-3 ball game. Challengers with the early lead. Into the ball game for the Bruins, Marissa Scott, 5'10" sophomore. So there's a decent amount of size on this team. Scott and the Ashlyn Schofield both in the ball game.
Bank is open, Jim.
All right. Hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now it's a 1-point game. Joseph with the basketball. Bounce pass inside for White. White dumps it down for Holt. Holt starts to make a move. She gets just a little too far underneath, but Joseph is there. And we end up with a jump ball, the call, as Joseph falls to the floor. And it's going to be Challenger basketball. This game just a little bit less than 2.5 minutes old. Challengers up by 1. Joseph finds Willard. Skip pass over to Snowden. Snowden gets a look from downtown. That shot a little long. Bruin rebound out of backcourt. Shelby Jersa. Now on the drive, it's Schofield, and she's called for the travel. Too many steps, and now Coach Schofield going to the bench. Into the ball game is Faith Burton, wearing number 4. And Jersa's back into the ball game. So now Ashlyn Schofield is out. Again, applying backcourt pressure against the challengers. Willard moving to her left. Bounce pass for White. White finds Holt. Holt in the corner and loses the handle on it. And we'll have a foul called against the Bruins. That's going to go against Shelby Jersa. That's her first personal foul of the ball game. First team foul for the Bruins. White. And for Willard. Willard fires from long range. Her shot no good. Ball tips out. Comes out to Jersa. She quickly moves up the floor. Loses the handle on it. Gives it back for Lexi Schofield. She makes a move, but a nice block by the challengers. And into the ball game for Cascade is Lainey Pearson.
As well as Timna Roberson.
And you know, one of the things I like, both of those kids got a lot of potential. And I think it's just a matter of growing in experience and confidence. The two going hand to hand, and I think they've got a couple excellent players. Schofield, her shot rolls around. That one almost went. Offensive rebound. And knocking down the shot, Faith Burton. Putting the Bruins up by 2.
Again, Jim, just the execution there.
Yep. Right now, a 2-point ball game. It's 7-5. Okay, now we got the scoreboards sorted out here. Get you back to action. Out of backcourt, Sierra Fitzhugh moves to her left. Being guarded by Robertson. Go inside they go, and the shot missed. Challengers definitely need to box out, and there is Willard taking down the rebound. She's out of backcourt. She'll pull up and shoot. Her shot just a little bit long. Offensive rebound by the challengers, but they lose the handle on it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Brookings' ball. We got a timeout call on the floor. We'll take one as well. 3:35 to go. Your Donnell Scott scoreboard shows the Bruins up by 2. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Table Rock Sports. Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, it is our sponsors who make this live high school athletic action available to you, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore, Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Brookings Harbor, having just taken the lead, they've got the basketball back. Fitzhugh over to Peters. And a whistle. And we have a foul called against the challengers. That'll go against Timna Robertson, 5'2" freshman. And you talk about kids playing at a small school level. She's getting plenty of experience right off the get-go as a freshman at the high school level.
That's right, and she showed some good on-the-ball pressure the first series. Now they're in a 2-3 zone, Jim.
And we have a foul call. Marissa Scott. So the challengers get the ball back, opportunity to tie it up or pull ahead. So again, number 15 is Lainey Pearson. Timna Robertson, who just got the ball, is number 30. She'll go ahead and drive toward the hoop. And shooting the shot is Snowden. That one just a little bit short, but fighting for the basketball. And that's the kind of thing you expect to see from Liz White.
That's right.
She's a scrapper.
Indeed. You know, Jim, the challengers are getting good looks. They just haven't been able to knock many down yet. They start hitting some of those, this will be a different ball game.
Absolutely. Holt back in the ball game. Now White going to go ahead and take a little bit of a breather. 3 minutes to go on the first. 2-point ball game. Bruins on top. Peters down in the corner it goes to Schofield. Skip pass over to Burton. Burton hit on a 3 earlier, and a near steal by Willard. She can't corral it in time, and it ends up out of bounds. Well, Bruins will inbound underneath their own basket. Out there on the floor for them is Burton, Peters, the Schofield girls, along with Sierra Fitzhugh. Burton being hounded by Willard, and she gets the steal. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That looked a little chintzy to me. Looked like a good, clean steal, but nonetheless, they don't count my vote.
No.
And so Willard will be whistled for her first personal of the ball game. Challengers with 3 team fouls. Driving the baseline, Schofield. And we have a tie-up underneath the basket. Jump ball, the call.
To the Challengers.
So Cascade will get it. So, yeah, you're talking about it. You can definitely tell these two teams are kind of finding their feet out there. Robertson double-teamed in backcourt. And she'll end up drawing the foul against Brookings Harbor. And that call will go against Tilly Peters. That'll be her first personal of the ball game. Second team foul for the Bruins.
Neha Joseph back in the game for Cascade.
See Melanie Snowden's just come out. They'll go ahead and dish inside to Holt. Holt will try to put it up with the left hand. She can't get it to go. Ball's knocked around loose. And we have a foul called against Cascade. And that's going to go against Abby Holt. That'll be her second personal of the ball game. Not a ton of depth. It would not serve them well to have her in early foul trouble.
No.
Just a little over 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Losing the handle on it is Peters, and running it down is Robertson, but a steal. Good anticipation defensively by Burton as she puts the Bruins up by 4. The Bruins getting some dividends off of that backcourt pressure. Pass a little bit high for Neha Joseph. Now into the ball game for the Bruins, we see Shelby Jerson check in along with Rockette Merrington. A 9-5 ball game with 1:43 left to go in the first quarter of play. Fitzhugh passes over for Merrington. Skip pass, and now shooting from downtown. Jersa, but the shot won't go. And Challengers just getting beat on the boards.
Yep.
And Schofield able to cash in.
It's good ball movement there, Jim. They've just been hitting the open spots and getting the rebounds.
And a backcourt violation against the Challengers. Callie Sweem is in the ball game for Cascade, wearing number 20 for the Challengers. 11-5 ball game with 1:10 left to go in the first. Willard with pressure on Jersa. She'll pass it over for Schofield. Over in the corner it goes. Fitzhugh with the jumper. Nothing but air, but there with the rebound is Callie Sweem. Sweem outlets for White. White works her way out of traffic. She's going to go hard to the hoop. Gets it for Joseph. Joseph's shot a little bit long. Coming up with a rebound, Schofield quickly up the floor for Fitzhugh against Willard. And her shot won't go. Offensive rebound. Ball's loose on the floor. Willard comes up with it. Now for Joseph. Joseph down the sideline in front of the Bruin bench. Skip pass. Tried to skip pass and was broken up by the Bruins. Quickly up the floor. Merrington. That shot rejected by Willard and will go out of bounds.
There was a lot going on there, Jim.
Wild and woolly here in the first quarter. Robertson going to check into the ball game real quick for Willard with 19 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Harrington inbounds. And Scott, and then the ball rolls around and off. There's Pearson trying to save it. Challengers come up with it. Robertson out of backcourt with 5 seconds to go in the quarter. She's going to drive hard to the hole. Her shot just a little bit short. And that will end the first quarter of play. So far in this ball game, maybe we haven't seen a lot in terms of point production from Lexington Schofield, but we've obviously seen that the Bruins are not a one-player show.
No, not at all. In fact, Faith Burton has 5 points, and younger Schofield has 3 of her own, with Lexi hitting a 3 as well. So they're spreading it around a lot. For the Challengers, their ball movement is good. Their shots are there. They're getting good looks. We just need to start seeing them drop, and then that score will increase.
And also, get that good ball movement and cut down on some of the turnovers,
The turnovers, yes.
Which, that kind of backcourt pressure and against this team, it's easier said than done. Bruins start out the second quarter with the ball. They'll dump it inside, and a little left-handed hook, no good. White with a rebound out of backcourt. You can see there, she's got good handles and works it for Willard. Now Joseph. Joseph in the corner, bounce pass for White. White finds an open Willard. She'll take the look. Her shot no good, but there underneath the basket is White. Her shot rolls around and down. Liz White with her first bucket of the ball game. Drawing the Challengers within 4. Fitzhugh at the top of the key, works at left wing. They go inside, and you can tell they're trying to get something going there, and they go to get it to work as they work it into Marissa Scott. 6-point ball game with the Bruins on top. White now for Snowden. Snowden's jumper, it's too long. Weak side rebound taken down by Lexi Schofield. Feeds it over for Burton. She's feeling it.
It's her second 3 of the night, Jim.
Suddenly it's a 9-point ball game. That's the impact of the 3. Holt at midcourt. Over for Willard now. Joseph bounce past the Holt in the high post. She'll start to make a move, and she goes to the hoop. No whistle on that on the contest, and it's Lexi Schofield. Schofield, skip pass. Burton will try that again, and that one a little bit long. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Challenger basketball. Now, Pearson will return for Cascade. Holt's going to come out.
Callie Sweem coming into the game as well for Cascade.
So Snowden will take a seat on the Challenger bench. Taking the inbound. Neha Joseph. Over for White. Guard-to-guard exchange, and pass broken up by the Bruins. Going the other way, Fitzhugh will have a foul called against the Challengers as Robertson gets ready to check in. Sierra Fitzhugh at the charity stripe for the Bruins. Sierra, a 5'8" senior. 4 seniors on this Bruins squad. 4 for the Challengers. First free throw attempt rims out. Remains a 9-point ball game.
And that's another turnover, Jim, that leads to a scoring opportunity for Brookings.
So a little discussion now. Neha talking things over with assistant Christy Willard. Second attempt. That one goes. It's now a double-digit lead for Brookings Harbor with 5:55 left to go in the half. Challengers against that backcourt pressure. And when they don't panic, they've done a solid job at getting it out of backcourt. Now up the floor it goes for Swain. Swain starts to make a move. You know, it took one of those kind of funky in-between hops, and you can tell both players are thinking, I got this. And then they end up meeting in the middle.
Yep. But you're right, Jim. When the challengers approach that without panicking, they are breaking that press. They just have to believe in what they've worked on. An open shot there. Liz White.
So, challengers with 4 in the game from White as they pull within 8. Now a steal by Liz. She goes out of backcourt on the break. She's going to go coast to coast. She lays it up and in. Liz White taking matters into her own hands as the challengers draw within 6. Peters with the basketball. Up top it goes for Lexi Schofield, being hounded by Willard. Now shooting will be Peters from downtown. Not a bad look, and then as Pearson tries to make a move for the ball, couldn't quite corral it before it went out. Into the ball game for Brookings Harbor. Fitzhugh is back in, along with Merrington. So challengers who were down by 9 at one point are now within a pair of triples. Now there, Fitzhugh, shot off target. Challengers doing a little bit better job on the rebounding here in the second quarter.
Yes, they have, for sure.
Willard out of backcourt. Cross court it goes to White. White looking for Robertson. Now to Willard. Willard's going to shoot, and it's just a little short. Now we have a little battle. Jump ball to call. I think in football we call a player like a ball hawk. And that is what Liz is being tonight. It's like wherever the ball is, she's there. Willard will do the inbound for Cascade underneath their own basket. 4:42 left to go in the half. Inbound to White. The swing. Up top it goes for Robertson. She'll go ahead and pull up and shoot from the top of the key. Just a little too much English on that one. Bruins out of backcourt. And ball's loose. Pearson comes up with it. Up the floor it goes, and it's loose. Can't quite get there in time. And that's just where I think if they just slow down just a split second, that would help them a lot. Fitzhugh. She'll take it on the guard-to-guard exchange. Around the horn it goes to Peters. Merrington with the basketball. It's broken up by Cascade. White. Good ball handler. Gets it for Robertson. Her shot just a little bit long, but there with the offensive rebound is Callie Swain. Jump ball to call on the alternating possession. It goes to, well, we got one official going. I think this is, that's what I thought it would be. Brookings' ball. Holt ready to check back in, but they're going to go ahead and take a timeout. I think we're right up on that time, Ryan, for the media timeout. So we will also pause, say thanks to our sponsors, and then we'll be back with more action for you on Table Rock Sports. You can see the Bruins are up by 6 in this ball game. Fitzhugh out of backcourt. She's going to drive, go inside. Her shot short, no good. Gets her own rebound. And coming up with it is Robertson. And it looks like Holt may have taken a shot in the nose.
Yeah, on that first shot there, Jim.
So she'll quickly come out. Looks like Neha Joseph will return to the challenger lineup, and she's in there along with Robertson, Lainey Pearson, Caitlin Willard, and Liz White. So Kurt Smet. And all of our sports, we keep him pretty busy.
Yeah, he has a lot to do.
Willard with it, over for Joseph. Joseph down in the corner, drives, shoots. Her shot misses the target. And there's Lexi Schofield out of backcourt. Guarded by Willard. And she goes to the rack, and she gets the bucket.
That was a little too easy there, Jim.
I think so. Saw a little bit of maybe Matador defense there. Olay. White, meanwhile, going to get it back. Now they can get a stop.
Yeah, need a stop here.
Peters with it. Fitzhugh. Now Lexi Schofield, who, at least in my estimations, had a relatively quiet half. Peters, her shot short. Ball's loose on the floor. Running it down, and there with the bucket, Faith Burton. 8-point ball game. Joseph, and fortunately loses the handle on the pass, and it'll be Bruin ball. Coming out of the Bruin lineup, Ashlyn Schofield. So the Bruins out on the floor right now. We have Fitzhugh, Marissa Scott, Faith Burton, Tilly Peters, and Lexi Schofield. Fitzhugh with the basketball. Over for Peters. And skip pass over for Burton, who has a wide open three, and she buries it.
It's ball movement again, Jim.
Well, and you give her that open look, well, you can see what she can do. White with the ball. Challengers now trailed by 11. That's the Bruins' biggest lead of the ball game. Willard falls to the floor. Meanwhile, Bruins get it back for Schofield. Her shot a little bit long. No good. Burton starts to drive toward the baseline. And we'll have a whistle foul called against Cascade. And that is going to go against Willard. Now, Caitlin will come out of the ball game. It is Robertson. Challengers now with 5 team fouls in the half. Up top it goes for Fitzhugh. Burton.
Another open shot.
And she does it again. Faith Burton. How many triples is that for?
That's her third of this half, Jim.
I don't think I'd let her do that anymore. White kicks it back out. From downtown. Robertson can't get her shot to go. It's a good look, though. Quickly up the floor they go to Burton. Burton's going to pull up, shoot. No good. Pearson with the rebound. Up the floor it goes for White. 51 seconds left to go in the half. Sweem with the basketball. Robertson dumps it off for White. White starts to make a move. Gets it back out. Now Sweem going to try it, and a shot just a little off to the left.
Another good look, though, Jim.
Yes, it was. Fitzhugh with the basketball from Ashlyn Schofield. Now for Burton, you know what she's going to do. Although she misses this one. Ball's loose. It almost goes out of bounds. Now it's Lexi Schofield. 7 seconds left to go. Fitzhugh. And we have a 3 and a key called against the Bruins. So with 4.1, Challengers down by 14 at this juncture. Taking the inbound, Pearson. And tries to rifle the pass down the floor, and that will end the half. After one half of play, it is the Brookings Harbor Bruins 27. The Cascade Christian Challengers 13. So for the Challengers, they knew the visitors tonight would give them a stiff test, and certainly they've done that. Good full court pressure. Ryan's alluded to throughout the half. Good ball movement on the half of the Bruins, and and not really a reliance on just any one player. But what we've seen so far in the ball game is there have been a number of players involved in the success for Brookings Harbor. And you got some halftime stats there for us?
Sure do, Jim. Like you said, the challengers are getting some open shots, but they're not hitting them. They're 6 for 25, so that's 24%. Only 2 players have scored. Our 2 main seniors, Liz and Caitlin. Caitlin has 5 points with a 3-pointer. Liz White has 8. She's 4 for 4. Hasn't missed a shot yet from the field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty nice output there.
Brookings is shooting more efficient. 40%, 10 for 26, and it's Shelby Jirsa with the 3-pointers in that half, and she has 11 points to lead all scorers. Lexi Schofield with 5, Faith Burton with 5, and a couple other scores too. Marissa Scott with 2, Ashlyn Schofield with 3, Sierra Fitzhugh with 1 free throw that she's made. But the story so far, I think, as you were talking about that ball pressure, is the turnovers, the challengers with 12 turnovers in that half, and the Brookings only has 4 turnovers.
Wow. Well, I was going to say, 4 turnovers and a half, you'll win a lot of ball games with that kind of half of basketball. And then with the challengers 12, ideally, that's probably about where you want to land for an entire game.
Right.
If you can. Now, maybe those figures against a pressure team like the Bruins, that figure is going maybe a little bit higher, but obviously that would be something I'm sure that probably if Coach Thomas, if they end up landing around 15 to 18 for the game, that they'd probably be okay with that.
Yeah, and you think, too, like some of the things we talked about with these players that have come from another sport a week ago, is that some of those turnovers were balls in their hand that slip out, and it's inches away from being a layup. And so maybe they can clean some of that up. They get a little more familiar as the game goes on, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Right. Well, there's plenty of time left in this ball game. You figure
Sure.
You're basically down by about a maximum of 7 buckets in the ball game. That could be made up in a hurry. And again, that they knew this would be a tough matchup, and Brookings Harbor has come as advertised.
Yeah, and I think the challengers are going to hopefully have more than Caitlin and Liz score to get into this lead here.
Well, as you say, they've had the looks. That there have been a couple of looks that even our scorers have had that they couldn't get to drop.
Yeah.
Then I know you look at that, Robertson and Snowden have had some good looks and just couldn't get them to fall. So
yeah.
Hopefully they can get that going. And one of the things that maybe hopefully they can happen is have where White goes in, gets some penetration. They start getting some collapsing on the defense, and then on kickouts maybe provide some nice open looks for the perimeter shooters.
Yeah, and then hope to see them start to fall.
You bet. We'll take a timeout right now. We're coming in on the start of the second half. Your score right now, as you can see, is 27-13. Brookings Harbor will be back after this timeout on Table Rock Sports. Back at the pavilion, we're just moments away from the start of the second half. Table Rock Sports says thank you to over the 100 new YouTube subscribers this spring. It helps us keep the games coming. Go to youtube.com, search Table Rock Sports, and click on the red subscribe button if you would like to join the team. And again, we sure appreciate it. Jim McCoy here tonight along with Ryan Sample. Ryan, of course, the boys JV football coach, and what a season that the Challenger football program. Actually, when you think about it, Ryan, when I think about all of the athletic programs at Cascade Christian, considering the circumstances, it's actually been a pretty remarkable season.
Yeah, it really has, and really proud of all of the athletes who just persevered through that entire off-season and season without knowing whether or not they would even get a season, and then being thrown into a shortened one and then just finishing it out. It's been really, really cool to see these kids put in all the work and not quit and finish strong.
Well, you have the football program that ran through. That's one thing I tell Sam Martin. It's like you can boast that you had a perfect record,
undefeated
as a Challenger starting quarterback.
Yep.
And then the boys soccer program won their first conference title this year to go 8-2. The girls had a good competitive season and a rebuilding year for their program. Then the track team ends up at the culminating week meet. They end up with a pair of third-place finishes.
Yeah.
And great big turnout for for that meet, and it was good to see the challengers there. I thought the tennis teams had some success that I wasn't necessarily anticipating.
Right.
Saw some kids really coming to their own there. And, of course, the golf program, a bunch of young kids out playing this year and learned a lot this year and had some fun along the way.
Yeah.
So here we are starting the third quarter. Challengers start out with a basketball. They'll go ahead and move from left to right from where we stand up here in the mezzanine. Liz White, along with Neha Joseph, Caitlin Willard. Also have Melanie Snowden out there, and Lainey Pearson will start the second half. Abby Holt started the ball game, but took a shot in the face right before halftime. Joseph out of backcourt, picks up her dribble, now to Willard. Willard directing traffic. Now going to move to her right, gets over Snowden. Snowden, her shot, a little bit short, looks like she kind of short-armed it. Out on the break, Tilly Peters. Schofield to Schofield, and that one won't go. Liz White there with the rebound for Cascade. She works her way through pressure. She's cool under all that pressure.
She really is.
And Snowden can't get that shot to fall. Somebody put a lid on the basket for her.
Yeah.
And then we have a whistle against Cascade Christian. Liz White called for her second personal of the ball game. Third quarter just underway. Challenger girls here at home. The Challenger boys playing the Bruins out on the road tonight. Moving to her right, Tilly Peters. Now to Fitzhugh for the basketball's Jersa. She did a lot of damage for the Bruins in the first half.
Yes, she did.
Unfortunately, I think I misidentified her as Faith Burton on a couple of occasions. But actually, both players having a really good game, but Jersa really making the most of her opportunities, of her looks tonight.
She really is.
Pass over for Fitzhugh. Up top it goes to Lexi Schofield. She's going to go ahead and drive to the inside. Goes with the left hand, and she can't get it to stick. Ball last touched by Brookings Harbor. It'll be Challenger ball, and again we see that backcourt pressure by Brookings. Willard, bounce pass back to White. Cross court it goes. Crisis averted. Joseph with the ball, moving to her left. White going to start a drive, kicks it back out for Joseph. And that's just with kind of a microcosm, really, in terms of turnovers tonight, what we've seen there. Just passes just a wee bit off target.
Yep. We got the penetration you talked about at halftime into the lane and just kicked it out a little wide.
Fitzhugh over for Jersa, and it is broken up by Willard. Willard's got the basketball on the breakaway, and she laid it up just a little too hard. Looked like she just didn't quite have 100% control there. And
yeah.
Now we have a whistle and a foul called against the Challengers.
It's on Liz White. Nope.
Neha Joseph.
I'll let you do those, Jim.
Oh. Schofield with the basketball, taken away by White. White out of backcourt. She goes on a drive. Snowden's going to shoot. That one goes.
There we go. Lid's off.
A nice two from mid-range from Melanie Snowden, who had a pair of threes on Tuesday night. And meanwhile, going the other way, Fitzhugh with the answer. Willard with the basketball. Drives to her left. Shot in and out, no good. Pearson attempting to put back, but can't get it to go. Quickly going the other way, Fitzhugh. Over for Jersa, and her shot ends up hitting the rim, going over the backboard and out of bounds. Robertson into the ball game along with Abby Holt. Pearson will come out. taking the inbound. Robertson. The freshman showing some nice handles. Willard to White. White makes her move. 2. Now, she is somebody that can do some damage on the inside. And
Yes.
meanwhile, offensive rebound and trying to make a move is Schofield. She'll kick it back out to her older sister. Now, it'll be Jersa. This shot off target. Challengers just need to get a rebound now. Foul called against Cascade Christian. That'll go against Abby Holt, her 3rd personal of the ball game. 12-point ball game. Bruins with the lead and the ball. Shot short by Brookings Harbor. Taken by Willard. Into the ball game is Sydney Shipman. White works it inside. Holt goes to the hoop. And her shot just a little too hard off the glass. Schofield with the ball. Now for Jersa. Schofield spins, goes to the hoop. Good look, but she can't get it to go. White out of backcourt. And she has it tipped away. And ball's lost out of bounds. Challengers will keep possession. So Shipman into the ball game wearing number 5, and she's another freshman ball player, and immediate timeout called. This will give us opportunity to say thanks to our sponsors, and we'll be back with more right here on Table Rock Sports. Challengers down by 12 with 3:58 to go in the 3rd. And sometimes, one of the things you see happen is, I was thinking last night in the boys' game, Challengers shot 62% in the first half.
Wow.
But they ended up with 49 for the game.
Sure.
And one of the things I'm seeing right now, it looks like that perimeter shot for the Brookings Harbor
Yes.
has kind of quieted down a little bit. And this is one of those spots where hopefully, if you're a Challengers fan, they can capitalize.
That's right. In fact, Brookings only scored 2 points since the half began.
White with the basketball. Now for Willard. Little baseline shot. That one rolls off, but Holt is there for the rebound. I really like Abby's game. She's a tough player. She's a good kind of, brings that blue collar element to the team. Take away by the Bruins. Fitzhugh out of backcourt. Little hesitation dribble. Ball's loose on the floor. And we have a call against Cascade. Willard with her second.
I don't know what to say about that one, Jim.
I can appreciate the sentiment that I'm seeing out on the floor because I think that would be about what my reaction would be as a player. Meanwhile, we have a tie-up. Good work defensively by Cascade Christian. But on the alternating possession, it'll be Bruin basketball. Fitzhugh with the inbound underneath. And we have a 5-second violation.
Good pressure by the Challengers there. Created turnover.
Well, I'm thinking of soccer now. Thinking in soccer terms, you mark up.
Yeah.
You mark your man and don't give him a target.
Yep.
Did a nice job there defensively, and now the Challengers have kind of struggled to find the range throughout the ball game, but the Bruins having some struggles of their own here in the 3rd quarter. Robertson out of backcourt, has it taken away. Peters with the basketball, dips it over. Fitzhugh, she knows what to do, and she lays it up and in. Bruin lead is now 14. Meanwhile, White quickly up the floor. Nice move. Woo. Liz White to the cup. Drawing the challengers within 12. Peters with a move to the basket. Oh. And a whistle and a foul called against the challengers. So to the free throw line, Tilly Peters. Laney Pearson getting ready to check in for Cascade Christian. That first attempt a little bit long. Holt going to go ahead and take a seat on the challenger bench. Joseph also getting ready to check in for the challengers. And Robertson will come out. 3:01 left to go in the third. And the second attempt, that won't go either. Pearson with the basketball now for White. White out of backcourt, quickly up the floor to Swaim. Swaim going to make a move, pull up, shoot. Shot off the glass, no good. Going the other way, Lexi Schofield trying to push the ball up the floor, kicks it back out. And shot just a little bit short, and there with the fight for the ball, we have a jump ball called. And the challengers get it on the alternating possession. Taking the inbound will be Joseph. Again, that backcourt pressure. Pearson quickly up the floor to Swaim. Swaim starts to make a move. Her shot won't go, but a whistle and a foul called. Pearson doing a nice job of quick release on that. Of course, she throws the javelin.
There you go.
In track, and you can kind of see she can put some zip on that ball.
Yep.
Callie Swaim, she played right field for the Challenger softball team. Also was a good depth player for the Challengers on their volleyball team.
Mm-hmm.
Misses first free throw attempt. And I thought she was one of those players last basketball season that as the season went along and she continued to, of course, last year being her sophomore year, that you could see her begin to grow in confidence and grow in her skill. Second attempt, that one off to the right, no good. Both teams having their struggles from the charity stripe here in the third quarter. Lexi Schofield, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called against Cascade Christian. And a foul will be called against Swaim. That'll be her first of the ball game. So 6 fouls against the Challengers in the second half. 2 for the Bruins.
And now 3.
So now the Bruins with the turnover. And Coach Schofield, he's got an opinion upon that. That might be a little different.
Yeah. He's entitled to that.
Oh. White out of backcourt, up the floor that goes to Snowden. Tries to work it across the baseline, across the paint to Swaim.
Jim, the Challengers have done a really good job of handling this pressure in the second half. It's just their shots aren't dropping yet, but they've cut down on the turnovers and they're advancing the ball past this pressure.
Well, that's going to serve them well down the road because you see a lot of backcourt pressure. A lot of teams love to do that press in this league, and if you can just kind of prove to yourself, it's like I can handle this.
Yeah, correct.
You know. And they've got some players that can handle the ball. Joseph kicks it back out for White. She'll try the triple. Her shot just a little bit long. Ball bounces out of bounds. Last touched by the Bruins. But Cascade keeps possession as Yersa and I believe that, Merrington checking the ball game. That's one thing you never have to worry about in boys sports is the ponytails covering up the jersey numbers.
It's rare.
Yeah, rare being the operative word. It can happen, as I see one of those dreaded trends of the 80s make a comeback with the mullet. Taking the inbound is Pearson. Over on the far baseline to White. White's going to make a little spin move. She can't get the shot to go. Schofield out of backcourt. Pressure by White. Jersa. Now Fitzhugh's going to try one, and she gets it to go. The lead for the Bruins is 15. Swain needing a little help. Gets it in the form of Liz White. She works around a backcourt. Shooting is Snowden. Her shot won't go. And we have a jump ball called underneath the challenger basket. And you may be hearing a voice. It's like somebody cheering loudly. And if you know Cascade Christian, if you're part of the Challenger family, you know that can be none other than our middle school PE teacher, Mr. A,
Alexander.
Fred Alexander.
He's in the building.
Yes.
There he is.
You never have to worry about this being a quiet place.
No.
If he's here. Gotta love it. Jersick's going to try one from downtown.
Sure. Yep.
And now that lead for Brookings Harbor is 18.
Her first three of the half, but not her first three of the game.
McKenna Dunn into the ball game for Cascade there in the backcourt. And a timeout called by the Challengers. We'll keep it right here with 49 seconds left to go in the third. Coming up on the end of the third quarter. Again, in case you missed it earlier, there was a contest scheduled for Saturday, a JV contest that has been postponed. And so the Challenger girls will next be in action over at St. Mary's on June 1st, which will be a Tuesday. And then they'll follow that up with another road game against Sutherland. For the Challenger boys, our next broadcast here on Table Rock of them in action will be on Monday, a special non-league game against Santiam Christian, which is another one of those games that will tell us a lot about who that boys team is. And they're looking superior right now.
Yeah, they do. They're really good.
I say that pending the result of whatever may be happening in Brookings right now. Whistle in the backcourt. White getting ready to rebound. Call goes against Merrington, her first personal. Challengers with 16 fouls, and now things are starting to kind of even out a little bit. The Bruins with 5. White for Swaim out high. And now Holt with it. And she scores.
Lainey Pearson.
Her first bucket of the ball game. Ball loose on the floor. Swaim has it now. Gets it for Joseph. Joseph. Pass intended for Snowden, broken up by the Bruins. Going the other way is Merrington. Merrington will kick it back out. And Schofield will fire her shot. No good. Ball's tipped around. And the buzzer sounds. And that's the end of the third quarter of play. Your score after 3. It is Brookings Harbor 37 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. The Challengers 21. We'll be back here on Table Rock Sports in 60 seconds. Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, we're getting ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Brookings Harbor had some struggles early in the third, but as the quarter wound down, they started to get the ball to fall once again. And when you have your Brookings team, you know, and you've got the number of weapons that they have, people can put points up on the board. You know you're only going to keep them down for so long. What you hope, what you could do is that maybe at some point when they're in that cold spell that you can use that as an opportunity to gain momentum. But Challengers so far tonight have been unable to do so.
Yeah, and Brookings just has so many weapons, Jim. Like you mentioned, Lexi Schofield still just at 5 points, but in that half, Sierra Fitzhugh, who was scoreless in the first, ended up with 7 points in that half, or in that quarter alone.
And it extends that lead to 16. their biggest of the ball game. Robertson will kick it back out to Callie Swain. Bounce pass for Robertson. She starts to make a move, and then she's tied up in traffic. Good defense there by the Bruins. And a call against Brookings Harbor. Fitzhugh whistled for the personal. Now both teams with 16 fouls each. Robertson for White. Looking inside for Pearson. Pearson kicks it back out. Ball's loose on the floor, but Robertson is there to collect it. White making a move. Back out it goes for Shipman, who's in the ball game. Swain with the ball, double teamed. Now for White. White had an open look there for a second, but a good closeout defensively by the Bruins. Robertson's shot comes up short, and it'll be Bruin ball. Lexi Schofield, corner of the free throw line. Back up top it goes. Fitzhugh, who had a good third quarter, her shot in and out. And we have a jump ball called as Fitzhugh and Swain hustle for the ball.
Swain is another one of those players, Jim, that just has a nose for that ball. She's tough and has caused quite a few jump balls in the second half.
Now she's got good instincts.
Yep.
Inbounding Schofield, her shot rims off, but little Sis is there to put it back. Swain for White. Down in the corner, Robertson for Shipman. Challengers being patient. Trying to look for the good shot. See, they're looking for Pearson. Pearson is in that high post being fronted there. Shipman's going to try a jumper. That shot no good. And now we have Swain and
the jump ball.
Fitzhugh. That one's tied up. Now Caitlin Willard back in the ball game. Shipman will come out. Snowden returns as Robertson goes to the bench. So Coach Thomas trying to work in some of those younger players, get them some experience.
They're getting it.
That's for sure. And a shot blocked. Good defense there by Jersa. She'll take it out of backcourt. Up the sideline she goes. Alexi Schofield picks up her dribble, and it's broken up. And there with the basketball for the challengers. Snowden, then Willard goes to the hoop. Her shot just a little out of control, and it won't go. Meanwhile, pass broken up. Challengers. One of the things you can say, now they've been getting beat on the boards, but defensively, they've been on it tonight.
Yeah. It's not a lack of hustle at this point.
No. And a lack of hustle, that would be the one thing that I think for a coach would be hard to take.
Yeah.
But heart not lacking on this challenger team.
No.
Swain loses control of the ball. Now coming the other way is Tilly Peters. And she's called for the carry. Abby Holt checking into the ball game for the challengers. 5'8" senior. Came over from North Medford last year. One of those players that helped give the challengers some depth in their front court.
Yeah, it's good to see her healthy. She struggled to get healthy that first part of the season last year.
Right. Had 4 points against Douglas on Tuesday night. Joseph is going to drive. Her shot short, though Holt is there just a little too far underneath the basket. Bruins come away with it. Lexi Schofield, top of the key. Starts to make a move against Willard. She falls to the floor, but manages to keep the handle on it. And a 30-second timeout called by the Bruins with 4:52 to go in the ball game. So stick around. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, the Brookings Harbor Bruins in the fourth quarter have extended their lead to 18. It was a good back-and-forth battle early in the ball game, but you kind of had a feeling that they wouldn't be able to keep this Bruins team down for long.
Yeah, they're starting to hit some shots, and Cascade is not able to hit some shots, and they're starting to get a little distance here.
4:52 to go in the ball game. Challenger lineup: Abby Holt, Caitlin Willard, Liz White, Neha Joseph, and Melanie Snowden. Merrington inbounds. Fitzhugh, who had a good third quarter, misses that shot. White with the basketball. Out of backcourt, quickly up the floor to Caitlin Willard, and she kisses it off the glass for two. Going the other way, Merrington. Peters. They go inside for Burton. Skip pass over for Fitzhugh. She falls to the floor. She makes a move. White out of backcourt. Now for Willard. Just a little too much mustard on that pass. Baseball, we say a little too much of the high cheddar there.
But again, Jim, not a lack of effort or hustle.
No, you got to give them credit for that.
Yep.
And this will give them something to learn from. Mm-hmm. They'll have a few days to regroup now to know that they're not going to be playing a JV game on Saturday. Moving to the hoop. And scoring. Ashlyn Schofield. Holt up the floor for Snowden. The shot short. And there with the putback, Abby Holt. Look what I found.
But it came as a result of the hustle, Jim.
There you go. What do they say? Talent beats hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
That's right.
Burton with the basketball. And Peters knocks it down. Well, I'll tell you one thing we don't see from either team is any lack of work tonight.
No, absolutely.
This Brookings Harbor team, they're going to be a good one this year.
Yep.
Willard with the basketball. Her shot won't go, but Liz there with the rebound. That one's a little bit long. And we've got bodies flying everywhere. See a little congratulatory pat on the back of the head from White to Willard, who goes to the free throw line. And that call's going to go against Faith Burton. Burton and Ashlyn Schofield come out of the ball game. So it's Peters and Jersa in the ball game, along with Fitzhugh, Lexi Schofield, and Merrington, and a media timeout called. So give me a chance to get a little bit of housekeeping done. What do you say? So Table Rock Sports says thank you to all the 100 new YouTube subscribers this spring. It helps keep the games going. Go to youtube.com, search Table Rock Sports, and click on the red subscribe button if you would like to join the team. Thank you. You know, I got to say that come in handy. You go to that YouTube channel, you can see some of the on-demand video there. And, you know, I know like during soccer season as the assistant boys coach, sometimes that was kind of a nice study tool. You know, and be able to go there and also, you know, for the out-of-town relatives that didn't get to see my son play, it was like, okay, well, here, you just go over here and
send the link.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
So it's kind of handy to have. It's kind of come a long way since the days of you and I playing the game.
The days when the assistant coaches would be either on the road filming or driving to meet other assistant coaches to exchange film after the game, yeah. Yep.
Those were the days. But to tell you how old I'm getting, I remember when you played.
And that was a long time ago, Jim.
I was going to say, it wasn't yesterday.
Nope.
And thinking back to the days, so as I recall, you got to experience, as I did, playing in the famed Rug Dome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think, nearly 40 years later,
marks. There's scars to prove it.
Yep. And now do you think, have you seen the look at the new Grace Gymnasium?
Yes, it looks great.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's amazing.
That's going to be a real boon for both the Cascade and Grace athletic programs.
So.
Yeah, you betcha. Caitlin Willard at the free throw line for Cascade Christian, who trailed by 19 with 3:01 left to go in the ball game. Willard, free throw attempt. And converts the first. Second attempt. It's good. That thing barely touched anything.
No, good looking shot.
That was clean. 44-27. Peters with the ball. She's going to drive to the hole, and maybe that was just a little too easy for her.
Yep.
Yep. Going the other way for the challengers. Holt tried to get a handle on that rebound, but it's taken away by the Bruins. Lexi Schofield with the basketball. She lowers that shoulder, and you know what's coming.
Yep.
A bull rush to the hoop. And challengers. Looks like we got Brooke Akins making her first appearance of the night. One of those challenger freshmen.
Yep.
Also into the ball game is Timna Robertson. Oh, here got a boys score for you here in just a second. So, Ryan.
Yeah.
Boys score.
Okay.
Start of fourth quarter. Cascade Christian 44. Brookings Harbor 20.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that.
No. I liked how you said, oh, when you read it, though. I thought it might be good.
At the free throw line, Abby Holt for the challengers.
Nope.
Gets the roll. I believe that gives her 5 in the game, doesn't it?
Yes, you're correct, Jim.
And there she comes with another. Second attempt. She picks up another one. I had her in my broadcasting class last year. You can imagine, in this class we had 10 boys, 1 girl.
Okay, Abby.
And you know what? She didn't take any mess from me either.
I believe it. I believe it.
No, it was really fun having her in that class last year. And now she's got 6 in the ball game. Challengers down by 17 with 2:08 left to go. Dump it inside. Scott with the ball, running it down. Brooke Akins with the basketball. Taken away by the Bruins. Lexi Schofield with it now. She's going to make her move. And makes a good one at that, but she traveled with the ball. Laney Pearson getting ready to check back in the ball game for Cascade. .143 to go. And, well, somebody got teed up.
Yeah. Someone in the direction of the Brookings bench.
I got to be honest, Ryan. I got to be honest, Ryan. I didn't think he said that much. Now, granted, there might have been a what do they soccer? I love how the English put things in a certain way. It's not persistence, they would say, but it's just the idea that you keep going on
it's
and on.
Added up over time, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, I'm tired of hearing it. Free throw attempt by Willard. That one rims off. It remains a 17-point ball game. She'll get another. Gets that one to go.
Well, persistence is true because the Brookings coach is still debating the call. Just a little bit less aggressively now.
Yeah. See, one of the things I loved about working with Javier De La Mora, our boys head coach this year, there would just be a couple times he would tell me just to sit down and be quiet. It's like when your own coach tells you to settle down, it's like, okay, I get it. Don't need to tell me twice.
It might be time.
Yeah. White pulls up from 17. It's good. Maybe a little too late, but still.
But looking good in this quarter.
Yeah. Schofield with the basketball. Robertson close out on her. Schofield guarded by Willard. Comes it over, and again, they're thinking no need to really force the issue.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to call a foul against the challengers. And they're going to call White for the foul. And Ashlyn Schofield will check into the ball game. Not much debate from Coach Thomas.
No.
Of course, I think you reach a certain point in your life where it's just like, you're not going to change their mind anyway, right?
No, you're not.
McKenna Dunn checking into the ball game. Sophomore guard. She played tennis. Had a really young girls tennis team this year, but it was nice to see some numbers out there. And Dave Pressler doing a nice job with the program.
Yeah.
Going the other way, shot short, and a putback good.
Lainey Pearson.
Lainey Pearson with her second bucket of the night. Foul called against the challengers. And for Caitlin Willard, her fourth personal of the night. At the free throw line, Sierra Fitzhugh, who had a really nice third quarter. At a
really
point
did.
in time where, let's just say, the window was open for Cascade to make a run.
Yep.
She did a good job of igniting her team and getting them through.
She scored the first 7 points of that third quarter.
Second attempt, that won't go. Running it down is Robertson. Up the floor it goes to Shipman, to Dunn. Everybody getting a hand on the ball. And Robertson tried to go inside to Pearson. Pearson kicks it back out. Now, Dunn is there to collect the loose ball. Akins looking for an entry pass there, but just a little in front of her target. Brooke Akins, her sister Lily, a senior this year. And Lily played a little bit of soccer for the Challengers when we were doing the fall sports. And also her older sister Lily, excellent trap shooter.
I was just thinking that. She's on the trap shooting team.
Yeah, she's a good one. Got a perfect 25, round of 25.
Wow.
Hear the buzzer sound, and that will put the finish on this ball game. The Brookings Harbor Bruins come away winners tonight, and they keep their perfect record intact. Your final score, the Bruins 49 and the Challengers 34. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, we'll put the wrap on tonight's contest here on Table Rock Sports. Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, the Brookings Harbor Bruins keep their perfect record on the young season intact after defeating the Challengers 49-34. Next up for the Bruins, they're scheduled to be in action tomorrow night against Douglas, and that'll be a home date for them. And meanwhile, for the Challengers, they'll have a few days off, have an opportunity to regroup, and then they'll be in action over at St. Mary's on Tuesday. That young team, and of course, the thing you got to love about those games, you throw all the stats and history out the window. You just never know what you're going to get over there. A lot of emotion.
Right. Yep.
So, anyway, as we wrap things up here tonight, you got some post-game stats for us?
I do, Jim. Just running down the scores, leading scores for Cascade. Liz White had 12. Caitlin Willard finished with 10. Abby Holt had 8. Lainey Pearson chipped in with 4, and Callie Sween had that one free throw. And then for Brookings, we had Sierra Fitzu with 10. And then Lexi Schofield, Tilly Peters, and Faith Burton all had 5 apiece. And they were led by Shelby Jersa with 14. The younger Schofield, Ashlyn, scored 8, and Marissa Scott had 4. I think the takeaway, Jim, is that Cascade ended up actually outscoring Brookings by 1 point in that final quarter, so you can build on that. And then takeaway that's good is that the hustle is not lacking. The effort is not lacking.
Right. Well, that's the thing. And with a compacted season like this, you don't really have much time for licking your wounds. It's like, these handful of days that they'll have off over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
That's as long a break as they're going to get.
Yep.
But it is an opportunity in the interim to learn from these experiences.
For sure.
See things that you can work on, and then also on it, just you got that game experience now. You can say, oh, okay, maybe on this particular pass, I could be more on target by throwing it to this spot as opposed to this spot.
Right.
Maybe in a couple of places I saw a couple of our young shooters rushing their shots a little bit. A quick release is a good thing. Rushing it is not.
Right.
And saw that in a couple of places there. And as a young team, there's a lot of work to be done with the squad. Fortunately, they do have some senior leadership on that team between the likes of Willard, Joseph, Holt, Liz White. Those are all players that can give you a pretty solid nucleus. And take nothing away from the Bruins. They're a good team.
Yeah.
So that'll wrap things up here, where our final score tonight, Brookings Harbor 49, the Challengers 34. Our thanks to our sponsors, Avista Utilities, Lithia Superstore, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, also Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, and, of course, the John L. Scott scoreboard. You can see the tail of the tape tonight. That'll wrap up tonight's broadcast, and we'll be back in action again on Tuesday night as the Challenger boys are at home against St. Mary's. I don't think you want to miss that.
No.
All right. For Ryan Sample, I'm Jim McCoy. Good night, everybody.